Okay, so here we are. We're on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania 29 takes place April the 7th, the MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. It's just actually on the border of New York, New Jersey. Now, it's going to be a good show. It's shaping up to be a great show. Now, to preview a major event like this, it's difficult to know where to start because in pro wrestling, as anything, what happens one month actually affects the next month. So you look at the history of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. You can look back at TLC in December. To look at TLC in December, you can look back at Survivor Series in November, then Hell in a Cell in October, and so on and so on. But to keep things simple, I thought I would just go for my first Road to WrestleMania preview, go through what's happened in these last two pay-per-views, and a little bit about this year's WrestleMania. Well, this year's pay-per-view schedule kicked off with the 26th annual Royal Rumble event. January 27th, US Airways Center, Phoenix, Arizona. Attendance of approximately 15,103. Poster featured The Rock. We knew since July 23rd, 2012 that The Rock would be facing whoever the WWE champion is at this Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It was never explained why he got the title shot, but he did. It was a good pay-per-view, I have to say, the Royal Rumble. An old-style Royal Rumble match itself, very much in the early 90s. The guys got in the ring and wrestled. The last few years it's been very much storyline driven. We saw CM Punk and the New Nexus dominate to having Brodus Clay dancing in the ring. It's been so storyline with the Nexus and the core and everything like that. But this year it was just a good old-fashioned wrestling rumble. We had a few shock returns with Goldust and the Great Khali, the Godfather. It was a decent rumble in itself. Now, I'll go through it very quickly. Alberto Del Rio kept his World Heavyweight Championship by defeating the Big Show in a last man standing match. This was, of course, a rematch from their SmackDown last man standing match, which I thought was actually a little bit better. It had a great storyline of Alberto Del Rio just answering the 10 count again and again. I thought that was a great match storyline to use in the pay-per-view. But Alberto Del Rio defeated the Big Show at the Rumble when Ricardo Rodriguez, his assistant, actually electrical taped Big Show's legs to the rope, so Big Show was unable to stand and answer the 10 count. Team Hell No had a good match with Team Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes and Damien Sandow. I thought that on this match, Sandow and Rhodes would actually take the tag titles. Although it's gone the other way, they've seemingly split up. Although they did reunite on one of the main event or Superstars programs a couple of weeks ago. I think they're done for now and going into singles competition. Maybe perhaps just to keep them free for WrestleMania. The next one, I thought this was an obvious match result. John Cena won the Royal Rumble. He eliminated Ryback last. Rumble itself took about 55 minutes and 5 seconds. It was a bit obvious to me that John Cena was going to win it because he'd been not around the world title scene recently. Some of the promotional stuff, including the advert where I had people in a bar restaurant and you went around and I think Cody. Some person said, "Oh, I think Cody Rhodes will win." Another person said, "I think Sin Cara will win." I think Rey Mysterio will win. And it goes to the end of the bar, and we see John Cena sitting there, and he turns around. I think, to be honest, it was a bit of an obvious result, a bit telegraphed. But anyway, John Cena won the Rumble. The main event was The Rock against CM Punk for the WWE Championship. As I said, we knew back in July who would face for the WWE title. Now, the stipulation with this match was that if The Shield, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins actually interfered in this match, CM Punk would be stripped of the WWE Championship and the title would go to The Rock. At one point, the lights went out, The Rock got put through an announce table, and the lights came back up. No sign of the Shield, he'd gone away. Vince McMahon came out, obviously assuming that would be in the Shield. We may find out that it may storyline that it may not be the Shield, but I think, for the purpose of this, I think it was the Shield. I think it was actually the Shield guys that did it. Must have been workers. wrestlers to do it, to keep The Rock safe, to make sure it was done properly. Whether it was the actual Shield members themselves, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it may have been. So Vince McMahon came out, was going to disqualify Punk, take the title away, and put it to The Rock. Rock said, "No, Vince, I want to restart the match." Restarted the match, and Punk got beat by the People's Elbow, and The Rock became, for the 10th time, World Heavyweight Champion. Yes, that was a historic moment for The Rock, for Dwayne Johnson personally, to be a 10-time World Champion. That was his 8th World WWE title reign, and of course 10th overall because he won 2 World Heavyweight Championships. Of course, he beat Booker T for the WCW World title, which is now the WWE World Heavyweight title. I have to say, it was a good pay-per-view. Again, that was a telegraphed result. I thought that The Rock was obviously coming back because you're being confirmed for more dates in the run-up to WrestleMania. I thought it was a bit obvious that The Rock would win, but happy for him. Happy for him to celebrate 10 World Championships. Whatever people think about him going away and making movies, I'm happy for him. He's a good wrestler. I've watched him since his debut at Survivor Series 95, I think it is, or 96. He's a great wrestler. One of the reasons why some wrestlers don't make it in WWE is because they don't have the capacity, or simply can't or won't change their characters to survive. The Rock is an ideal showing of this, an example of this. Especially look at Daniel Bryan as well. The Rock, although because he didn't wrestle much before WWE in Memphis and a couple other places WWE had him developmentally, he changed his character and he's continued to evolve and change and come out with all this new stuff. Of course, some of it's coming out of his real life, but The Rock has continued to grow and evolve, and that's one of the reasons why he continues to be one of the top names in WWE. But anyway, going on, Elimination Chamber. February 17th, 2013, New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana, home of this year's Super Bowl, which was great until the lights went out. And by the way, New Orleans has been confirmed as WrestleMania 30's host. And ironically, the same venue as the Super Bowl. It's the Mercedes-Benz Arena, Mercedes-Benz Dome, or Superdome. Hopefully the lights will not go out then, because that would be a bit of an annoyance. But to be honest, they got it fixed as soon as possible. But one of the things this year's Super Bowl will be remembered for, and one thing that the fans will talk about in the lead up to WrestleMania 30. Okay, Elimination Chamber, ironically enough, Rock is WWE Champion, and it was actually sponsored by his new movie G.I. Joe Retaliation. You can see it in cinemas. I think it's available now in the UK. I'm not sure about worldwide. But it's coming very, very soon, if not already on general release in UK cinemas. Said February 17th, attendance of approximately 15,669. Again, in New Orleans Arena, New Orleans, Louisiana. A good show. Free to air in the UK, we had it on Sky Sports. I thought it was good. A couple of good matches. Alberto Del Rio again retained his World Heavyweight title against the Big Show. Big Show and Alberto Del Rio gone back and forth. Some good things like Big Show getting covered with supposedly paint, although it was obvious it wasn't paint. Couldn't be paint, of course, it's too dangerous. It was more like an orange sludge, but it was a good match. Some great action. Big Show's having to work with Alberto Del Rio. He's having to do the stuff in the ring. Big Show is actually having to work. I would say seems to be in a better shape than he was. He's lost some weight again. Hopefully this and Big Show, I don't know how long he's going to have in his career. He's already having problems apparently. But anyway, should be maybe to wait and see what the Big Show does come WrestleMania. But the Elimination Chamber match itself, we only had one this year. This was a number one contendership match for the World Heavyweight title, because John Cena the night after Raw said he was challenging for the WWE title at WrestleMania. It was Jack Swagger defeating Chris Jericho, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Mark Henry and Randy Orton. In this match, it was a decent match, some good workers in this. It was obviously going to be difficult to pick out really who was going to win this, because there's been different rumours that Jericho was going to have to go after one more title run. Mark Henry had just made his return and was trying to put people in this hall of pain. Randy Orton's trying to come back and trying to get back into the main event scene after being out really for the title picture for almost the last 2 or 3 years. And amazingly for the Viper, it's been so long since he's been on top of the WWE and been really at the prime of his powers. Daniel Bryan, another. He's a great worker, a great wrestler. We've all seen him all over the world. It was Jack Swagger, like I said, who took the match eventually after Mark Henry had eliminated a few competitors. Jack Swagger was arrested this week. He was arrested for allegedly, and I must point out allegedly, speeding, driving under the influence, and possession of marijuana. I have to say, it's only allegedly at this point. We'll have to wait until the due processes of the American justice system goes through and see what the result is. So it's only allegedly at this point. I don't want to get in trouble, illegal trouble, but we'll have to wait and see whether this affects Jack Swagger's run at WrestleMania. He had to be included on this week's SmackDown because it was taped Tuesday. He was arrested Wednesday or Thursday. It's definitely a couple of days ago. This is Sunday now. We'll have to wait and see. And again, another people have been very much actually, well, I've been liking The Shield, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. They've been having some good matches. I thought the six-man tag team match, Elimination Chamber, was good. These guys certainly could have potential. Dean Ambrose has been picked out by many people as being the top one of these three guys to look for in the future. I'm not so certain. I hope to look for Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns is a big guy, big powerful guy, the way that WWE likes them. Well, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully all three of these can make it, because you generally get in a group of guys, just one of them make it. We also got Dolph Ziggler, who defeated Kofi Kingston. Dolph Ziggler still has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Whether he'll cash it in at WrestleMania, we'll have to wait and see. It's been teased so many times. I don't think it runs out until the end of July. He won it on the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So I think he's got the whole 12 months to cash it in. So we may not even see it at WrestleMania. They may wait until we think that it's run out, but there may be a clause in it so it's not quite run out, or he has special permission to cash it in, and then cash it in, then get a world title. But we'll have to wait and see. The Rock, of course, defeated CM Punk to retain the WWE title. Rock was going to be disqualified or counted out, he would lose the title, but The Rock is still WWE champion. Now, WrestleMania. WrestleMania is coming, as I said, April 7th, 2013, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. They're they want to draw about 90,000 fans. Of course, WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year for WWE. As I said, there's only 2 matches announced so far for WrestleMania. The Rock versus John Cena for the WWE title. However, that is not officially confirmed, as this coming Monday on Raw, we see John Cena versus CM Punk for that number 1 contendership spot at WrestleMania. I don't know what will happen in this match. I really don't. I think it's obvious that it's going to be twice in a lifetime. I mean the procedure of this match, because certainly last year, Rock versus John Cena, WrestleMania 28, it was billed as once in a lifetime, never before, never again. Obviously that wasn't true, or they changed their minds. It did sell well. It did bring a lot of money for the company, and both guys seem to be up for it again. Of course, put the WWE title in the picture. Whether that's good or thing or bad thing, fans will have to make up the decision themselves, whether they think the WWE title should be elsewhere at WrestleMania, or whether The Rock and Cena even need this to actually help their feud or not. I don't know. But WWE have certainly got a history, long history, of putting a world title in big feuds where they think, well, these guys have faced each other before, they need something else to fight for, let's give them a title. It's how several world title reigns have ended because WWE wanted to put the title in a different feud. But we'll have to wait and see. Rock versus CM Punk, possibly? Nah, to be honest, I don't think so. It'll be Rock versus John Cena at WrestleMania. We'll just have to wait and see this Monday night on Raw what exactly happens. Now, as I said, the other match so far, Alberto Del Rio versus Jack Swagger for the World Heavyweight title. Again, we'll have to wait till Raw, see whether, WWE have not made any statement at all about the Jack Swagger situation. The only thing really they indicated was that what he does in personal time is his personal business. We'll have to wait and see whether he gets removed. I don't know. There's been the whole thing though with Jack Swagger, Zeb Coulter, and Glenn Beck, American political commentator. I think he's a bit of an idiot, Mr. Glenn Beck. To be honest, this is his opinions. Some of his opinions are idiotical in the fact that he called wrestling fans stupid. He actually called wrestling fans stupid. There's not. There's many wrestling fans around the world who are doctors, lawyers, and working on technical, logical advances that will help help all mankind in various different roles. The last point of WrestleMania preview, is The Undertaker. We saw The Undertaker return this weekend at a live event in Waco, Texas. Obviously, he lives in Texas, I believe. Certainly, The Undertaker has got the streak in the WWE. He's one of the most established WWE superstars in history. The streak shouldn't be broken. The streak should remain intact forever. I certainly don't believe that any superstar really should break it, because there's nobody really left that he hasn't faced that is capable of beating it. There's no big new John Cena or Hulk Hogan on the horizon to take the title of streak breaker. There isn't anybody I feel that's worthy of taking the streak. Now, I have been a fan of The Undertaker since before he was The Undertaker. I have been a fan of him since he was Mean Mark Callis in WCW. He got his big break in World Championship Wrestling, replacing an injured Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, Sid Justice, whatever you want to call him, Sid UD. Okay, he has suffered broken ribs and an injured lung. He was part of the Skyscrapers tag team with Dangerous Dan Spivey, managed by Theodore R. Long, and The Undertaker was drafted in. He wasn't The Undertaker then, of course, to replace Psycho Sid, and he's done well. The team didn't last long, and he went off and he had actually a good feud with Lex Luger over the United States title. Certainly, it looks like we may see The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Just my final thoughts is, I think that the WWE need to make these matches more in advance. One thing that annoys me sometimes about WrestleMania, and it's happened these last few years, certainly, we only know 2 matches for this year's WrestleMania. I think the WWE should make these matches far in advance and have time to build up to them and publicise them. Because I think it's ridiculous. Their biggest show of the year, we only know 2 matches, and we're only about a month away. We're only about 6 or 7 weeks away from WrestleMania. We don't know the matches on the card. No, I understand. Maybe a couple of them that could keep us surprised, last minute additions to the card. But I really do think the WWE need to do what they did years ago and have the matches announced for WrestleMania far in advance, so they can build up, so the fans can look at it. It's going to sell out anyway. They don't need to worry about selling tickets. They don't need to worry about people buying the pay-per-view. WrestleMania is seen in over 150 countries to over 500 million people every week. And millions upon millions of people, like myself, will sit down and purchase WrestleMania and watch the pay-per-view. Without a doubt, whatever's on the card. But I really do think WWE needs to publicise and make these matches far more in advance. I don't know, maybe it's the American way of doing things, maybe it's different over there. I'll have to wait and see. But I certainly do think that WWE needs to put these matches further in advance, so we know them, we can build up to them. One match I would final thought though. One match I would like to see is Wade Barrett versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental title that Wade currently holds. Ireland versus England. A great match. These two guys have had a feud before even WWE, when Sheamus was Sheamus O'Shaughnessy and Wade Barrett was Stu Sanders. They have faced each other a couple of times in Ireland, a couple of good matches, and they're on YouTube. You can watch them. It would be great. They two are great workers. Wade Barrett, future world champion, possibly. Sheamus, certainly a big name in WWE nowadays. I would like to see that match. But this will start my first WrestleMania preview. I'm going to do a proper preview near the time of WrestleMania because I'm going to have plenty of time to do so with some video, some pictures, and some interesting facts and figures about upcoming WrestleMania. Again, WrestleMania 29 takes place April the 7th, 2013, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Check your local provider. Here in the UK, I must point out that it is going to be available on Sky Box Office. So near the time you can contact Sky, contact your pay-per-view provider, whichever network satellite provider you're with, and get them to order a pay-per-view, or depending what system you have, you can also do it via your remote control. So check out all the details. The UK, I think it's going to be the usual price of £14.99. Looking forward to it. WrestleMania 29. Hopefully, should be a great show. It's WrestleMania, the showcase of the Immortals, the granddaddy of them all.